And then there were a bunch, like maybe 7 shots fired consecutively.
Yeah, concerns growing this morning after a series of weekend shootings in Seattle, leaving 4 people dead, another 5 people wounded.
We do have team coverage for you this morning, tracking the latest SPD shooting investigation overnight, this time in Lake City. We also have reaction from local leaders on how the city can stem the tide of this year's gun violence.
And Holly, that weekend violence continued last night with another man shot and killed just a few hours ago. KOMO's Lee still live in North Seattle with what happened there. Good morning, Lee.
Yeah, good morning. We're in Lake City, just off of 33rd and about 127th. And take a look at what we found when we got here. Bullets that grazed this tree, and behind us we count at least 8 more bullet holes. We have got broken glass here too. Right now, Seattle police, they're looking for several people who were in a car. They drove up, opened fire on a man as he was walking to his apartment. That man was killed. Another person was grazed by a bullet, all after a chaotic weekend citywide.
9 people shot, 4 of them killed in less than 24 hours. The violence extending across all corners of Seattle.
I don't want to come out and get shot.
Police responded to 4 shootings in less than 3 hours early Sunday morning. In Belltown, we're told a bar fight spilled out into the parking lot. 1 man was shot and killed. In the International District, a woman was shot in the stomach but will survive. On Capitol Hill, a man was also shot in the stomach during a pickup basketball game at Cal Anderson Park.
Hopefully he makes it through.
And then in Pioneer Square, hundreds of people spilled out of Trinity nightclub. We're told 2 men got into a fight and started shooting each other in the street. 1 shooter died, another is in critical condition. An innocent bystander dodging those bullets was also struck and killed.
We've got to figure out a way to get the guns off the streets.
Yeah, guys, I'm here in Pioneer Square at the corner of 2nd and Washington, just a block away from Trinity nightclub. I want to show you what's going on right now behind me. You've got police crime scene tape, investigators still here at the scene. Police say gunfire erupted outside the club as more than 300 people were leaving. A witness just told me 1 man was chasing another man with a gun when shots were fired. As you can imagine, it was a wild and chaotic scene as people were looking for cover. 2 people here were killed and 3 others injured. So far, victims and survivors' names in all these shootings have not been released. A spokeswoman said 1 person was listed in stable condition early Sunday at Harborview Medical Center. It's unclear how the others are doing. Along with Pioneer Square, officers also responded to shootings in Belltown at the corner of Blanchard Street and First Avenue. 1 person there killed during a fight that was reported at the scene about 1:45 a.m. It was not immediately clear how many people were involved in the altercation or if the victim knew the shooter. Then another shooting in the Chinatown International District at 12th Avenue and South Main Street. Police were called to this scene and 1 shooting victim showed up at a local hospital seeking treatment, and a 4th shooting around 6:30 a.m. at Cal Anderson Park. Those details still coming in. So far, no arrests or suspects in any of these cases. In a video posted to social media, interim Seattle Police Chief Adrian Diaz said the shootings were linked to an abundance of guns on city streets. Again, at least 2 people dead, 5 others injured during a series of overnight shootings in downtown Seattle, including a scene where gunfire erupted as hundreds of people leaving the Trinity nightclub here in Pioneer Square. We're still waiting for more information, and we'll have another update as soon as we get that. For now, live from Seattle, Jonathan Cho, KOMO News.
Breaking news tonight. The 3rd suspect in the deadly officer-involved shooting is in custody tonight. Detectives from the U.S. Marshals Task Force and the Salem Police Department located and arrested Guillermo Rea Leon in Salem. Investigators say next they will extradite Rea to Clark County, where he will face charges.
They're not looking like this. The next thing I know, a guy's face is right here.
Coming face to face with the 3 people now accused of killing a Clark County sheriff's deputy, neighbors in a quiet northeast Vancouver neighborhood were shocked when they became the center of a search for an armed and dangerous suspects, actually. Several homes and their fences broken through by the suspects. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Deborah Knapp in for Catherine Kissel. According to court documents obtained by K2 News, 26-year-old Guillermo Rea Leon, who was just taken into custody today, is now charged with aggravated murder for the death of Detective Jeremy Brown. K2's Kelly Ozier's live for us in the neighborhood where 2 of the other suspects were found. They did quite a bit of damage before being caught.
Oh, they absolutely did. They crashed their vehicle just off of 205 and Padden Parkway. That's when they made their way literally through fences in this neighborhood trying to get away. And we spoke with a number of neighbors who tell me they were shocked and came face to face with all three of those suspects. It was something she never expected, coming face to face with three suspects wanted for shooting a Clark County Sheriff's detective.
Everything happened so fast.
Jackie Hill and many of her neighbors, like Jay McPartland, have lived in this quiet Vancouver neighborhood for more than a decade, and seeing this scene unfold Friday night was unlike anything they ever expected.
SWAT teams were just going through all the neighborhoods.
But before SWAT and police filled the streets, Jackie had a terrifying encounter. Three suspects outside the window where she was cleaning.
I was looking like this. The next thing I know, a guy's face is right here. And then he said, keep going. And so that's when I went over there.
She knew something wasn't right.
When I got to the door, yes, they were going through the fence.
Shortly after going through her fence, police say two of the suspects were captured, but 26-year-old Guillermo Rea Leon was not. Saturday, court documents were filed against Rea Leon, charging him with first-degree aggravated murder. Now, with a gaping hole in her fence, she says she realizes it could have been much worse.
I'm pretty scared because I told my husband to go after him, go this way after them.
Knowing now, they were wanted for the shooting death of Detective Jeremy Brown.
I'm very glad that they didn't just turn around and shoot me through the window, right? I mean, they were like, his face was this far from my face.
Guys, here's the bottom line. The judge said, considering the damage done, the potential for serious injury, and this man's criminal history, he considers him an extreme risk. He set bail high, and tonight he remains where he has been since he got arrested, right here at the King County Jail.
We can now put a name with the video of the latest rock and debris throwing suspect seen running away from a driver chasing him. He is 41-year-old Abdinasir Audeer. He is homeless, has an extensive criminal history, and during his first appearance in court was a no-show. He waived his right to appear. His criminal history includes 18 arrest warrants since 2012. Not all were prosecuted, but his criminal record includes possession of weapons, harassment, and assault, said the King County Prosecutor's office.
This is certainly somebody who's known to authorities, and that's why we argued before the judge that we think he's a danger to the public. And fortunately, the judge agreed with that.
The judge found probable cause for 4 counts of second-degree assault with a deadly weapon.
This does present, I think, an extreme risk of a violent offense.
On Tuesday afternoon, 7 cars were pelted with rocks westbound on I-90 near Rainier Avenue. This rig was hit, and the driver chased Audeer and then pointed him out to troopers. This is some of what they found in his backpack, including rocks.
The details of this are very terrifying.
Well, it is criminal. It also seems slightly insane.
Mercer Island Deputy Fire Chief Mike Mandela says on Tuesday morning around 3 a.m. one of their aid cars with a patient en route to the hospital was targeted in the same area. So far, no arrest in that case.
He had a hard time processing that for the rest of the shift because he was angry. It wasn't because he was scared, he was angry. And that's the prevailing feeling here.
He swerved fast enough to avoid the rock to the windshield, but it hit the highway and damaged the undercarriage.
It wakes us up a little bit that we're not immune just because we're driving a truck with lights on it.
No one hurt, and Mandela wasn't surprised to learn the latest arrest is now a 3rd homeless person.
It's been a problem for a very long time.
Hey everybody, I'm Eric Johnson from KOMO News. Thanks for checking out the KOMO YouTube channel. You can see more of our videos right here by clicking on the video links for more news from the Seattle area and all of Western Washington. And don't forget to click the subscribe button below so you don't miss our YouTube updates.